Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming back at you with another Wargaming and Miniature video. In this video, we're going to go ahead and continue our Waterloo project update. Alright, so what you're looking at right here is the 2nd Battalion of the 1st Foot Guards. And I made it a large battalion, and so it has 8 4-figure bases, and the flank companies, which I guess is the light and the grenadiers, I have them sitting in the back there. Now these are almost all warlord miniatures. These guys right here are all warlord. They came out of the Waterloo project. I'm sorry, the Waterloo starter set, except for 6 models, which are front rank medals, like the sergeant, 2 officers, the standard bearers, and the drummer right there. Basically anybody that you see that has a plume is a front rank figure. All the others are warlord. Okay, so you can see the size comparison, very comparable, very good. All right, so I wanted to show you this because I just finished it, but there's a couple of things about my Waterloo project that I have come to an understanding. So let's go ahead and turn this off. There we go. And I'm just going to slide that off to the side a little bit, just so we can see my skirmishers. Okay, so these are my flank companies basically, and this is what I use, or this is how I mount my skirmishers. I put them on 20 by 40 bases, two figures a base, right? So I can skirmish, however I wish, like so, right? Okay, I magnetize them so that I can put them on these bases and then move them around as single bases. In the past, I have ordered the heavy-duty magnet, and I mounted it on a thin 40 by 40, right? And then I put the flex steel on the bottom of also a thin base, and then with the combined thickness of the 2 magnets, or I should say the magnet and the flex steel, the wood on the bottom and the wood on the top, it wound up being 3 millimeters. So it was going to be, it's perfect. The other day, Wednesday, I took out a lot of figures and I put them on my table, and you got to see them being, what's the word I'm looking for? You got to see me pull them off the shelf and put them on the table. And I struggled with my skirmishers. They kept popping off the bases or sliding off these bases, right? And I know it's not a perfect solution. It's not, it was never meant to be indestructible or anything like that. But I felt like the flex steel, even though it's got some magnetism, it's got like, it's a ferrous substance. It looks a lot like these magnets, but it's got like a ferrous material inside of it, so it will stick onto a magnet. I felt like it was not holding, because see, I could pick one of these bases up, and the other part of it would fall off, or I would actually pick up the base, or the 2-figure base, and not the entire 4-figure base. And I wanted there to be a little bit more adhesion, or a little bit more grip. So I did some experimenting. You notice how, like, the bottom of this this wood here is a magnet. Well, I took one of these magnets and I split it in half using my X-Acto knife. They cut fairly easily. I split it in half and I put it on the bottom of these bases. And I figured that I could take this magnet here and this magnet here and get double the adhesion, right? Which is true. You do get double the adhesion. But the look at that. That's pretty good. So now to get, and I use the heavy duty magnets also. So so I did that for both of these. I took 2 of them, cut them in half, put them on there like that. There is an issue with this, and this is why I didn't do this originally, but I've basically bit the bullet and said I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I have ordered some 20 by 40 magnets so that I can use them on my 40 by 40 magnets. So, but there is a problem. Magnets built like this have polarity. And I probably could get a pen or something like that and mark the polarity. I thought I was doing that by writing the text straight up and down, but I'm not. I did it 90 degrees off, but I probably could take a little piece of paint or a pen marker or something like this and put an arrow showing which way the polarity is. And what that means is this magnet that I cut in half has to go on it like that. Okay, it has to go front to back, because if I turn it 90 degrees, the polarities are like this. If they're like this, there's no problem. But once the polarity goes like this, they push against each other and you don't get a very good connection. This connection is, I can feel it. It's pushing against it. It'll still stick, but I feel like it's trying to go this way. Because this way, I can feel that it's sticky. Right here, it's not really sticky. It's just barely sitting on it. But like this, it's sticking on there really well. Now my concern is when I get those, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a lot of these 40 millimeter width magnet bases, just make a stack of them. And then I'm going to take a bunch of 20s and I'm going to put their magnets on there. And then I'm going to go through the magnets and find out which way the polarities go. And then, so there should be no problem. It just takes a little extra step. But what I'm finding is, or what I'm anticipating is, there's a lot more adhesion, a lot more grip on this. I'm going to be able to move these around a lot better than the way they were previously. So that's exciting. All right, and one more thing. We can go ahead and bring those guys back out there. One more thing. on this stand, on this battalion, you can see that I split my flags with the King's color on the right, regimental color on the left, and one step back. This is the way I normally do it. If it is only a 6-figure battalion, like normal, this is what I'm going to do from now on, basically. If it's a 6-figure battalion and it is if there's 2 flags in the battalion, I think I'm going to put both of the flags on one base, because what that does is it'll basically have an officer, 2 flags, and the drummer, and that'll be perfect. But it'll also, that is the center stand, and right now the flag center is off to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and return to my original flag placement. I'm going to put them both on the same stand. If it's an 8 base battalion, then splitting it like that works out just fine, because of the center of the battalion is between the 2 flags. So that's perfect. If I was to go into any kind of march column, I could technically I could go with a wide march column like this, and I could still technically have the 2 flag front, and if I wanted to go single, I could always just stack this one behind there. If it was 1 base, then it's what that's telling me is I'm only going to have 6 bases anyway. I'm not going to have 8. So I'm probably going to be march columning, or at least column of companies with 1 line and not double. So yeah, if it's standard size, both flags on the same base. If it's a large battalion, then I'm going to split the flags. Okay, so last point I wanted to make. Here, let's go ahead and let that spin. That's fine. Okay, so my last point is the number of figs. Okay, with the completion of this unit, I've crossed over the 1,500 figure mark, and that's counting cavalry as a single model, the horse and the rider. A general, the horse and the rider, counts as 1. A division general, it counts as 2. Corps commander is 3, and of course the army or wing is 4, because that's the number of figures on those bases. But that's with a horse and a rider. I'm counting that as 1. Cavalry, I'm counting it as 1. Individual figs, counting it as 1. The artillery, I only counted the crew, so I only counted it as 4. Didn't count the gun. So I hit right at 1,500. I'm somewhere close to 800 allied and 600 and change, or 800 and change for allied, and then 600 and change for the French, and it wound up being 1,500 figures. 1,502 or something like that. But still, I just hit 1,500 with the completion of this, and got my front rank order in yesterday as well, Wednesday, and one of the packages was incorrect. My French cavalry, not French cavalry, all the French cavalry is correct. The French horse artillery was the wrong models. And so I contacted, this is really cool. Today's Thursday. I contacted Front Rank this morning. Okay, I'm talking like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was awake. I sent him an email. By 4-ish, by 3 or 4 o'clock, same day, I got a response from Front Rank saying that they communicated with me on how we're going to resolve this issue, which that is awesome. I've had a couple of problems in the past, with Victrix. I had an extremely big problem with Victrix. Another thing. Okay, now this is, I'm going back to my hate of Victrix. The models are great. The prices are great. The only problem that I have with Victrix, well, the only problem I have had was it took almost a year, or that's being harsh. It took about 8 months for me to get my order. It got lost in the mail, and then it took forever for them to reorder it. There was, and as you know, there was an extremely high minimum order for Victrix. I've always complained about that. For me, I'm not a retail store that has a brick and mortar store that I order figures and put them on the shelf and customers come in and buy. No, I have it. I'm a small retailer and sells through an online store, on my eBay store basically, and I order their figures so that I can paint them and sell them as painted figures at a premium, right? So what that means is I can only paint so many figures a week, or only so many figures every couple of days. And Victrix wants, and plus I have a budget, right? And I have Warlord, Front Rank, Perry, Old Glory. Okay, so now, and Victrix is pretty much the companies that I have been dealing with. And Victrix wants me to order a year's worth of figures in one order. I can't do it. I can't afford that. And then just the other day, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and order some of those. I'm going to see if they've got cavalry. I'm going to see if they've got some Greeks, some Romans. I'm going to go ahead and make up an order, and I'm going to bite the bullet because I really like Victrix models. But then I noticed that their minimum order went up by 25%. So a minimum order for me is about $750. I can't do it. I can't afford $750 at one pop. And if I hold out, like wait 3 months to build up the inventory before I can order some Victrix models, then I will have not filled up my ranks of my other troops that I'm painting and selling. So I like to keep miniatures coming in, and I like painting them and sending them out. I don't want to have to sit here stagnant for like 3 or 4 months to build up enough resources to pay $750 for a single order from one company, Victrix. I'd rather order like $200 or $300 per company per month, right? So I'm spending around $1,000 a month with various companies, and Victrix wants me to spend $1,000 with them in one pop. I ain't gonna do it. So what I'm thinking about doing it now. Some of their units, when you order on their website, if you order like 3 packages of the same thing, you'll get a 15% discount or 20% discount or something like that. I will have to do that because I don't mind ordering like 3 of the Roman legions, right? And getting those in. And taking that 20% discount, and just what will wind up happening is the prices of my Victrix projects or models that I use on my store, the prices are going to go up because I'm not getting the wholesale discount any longer. Okay, and I've also noticed, and I hate saying this, but it appears that their shipping and handling, okay, for a 500-pound order, my shipping was almost 150 pounds on top of that. So remember that $750 order? Add another $200 on top just for shipping, which you would think if somebody's ordering $750 from your company, you would give them free shipping, but that extra shipping is making it hard for me to place a large order like that. I feel like they're targeting me, not me specifically, but people like me, trying to get us not to order from them or something. Or they're hurting so bad on inventory that if they raise their prices, they won't sell. I don't know. That doesn't make sense, right? Even if you have low inventory, you want to sell it all. Okay, so last point. I said, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this anyway. So I went in and placed an order as a customer and not a retailer. So I was paying full price for the models. But let's say, I don't remember the exact models, but let's say I have a Roman bag, which comes out to, let's say, 30 pounds, right? These are not accurate numbers. I'm just giving you an idea of what I experienced. Okay, it said 30 pounds, right? And I said, okay, that sounds good, right? And if I order multiples, I'll get a discount. But we'll just put it in there as one because there was a couple of bags in there that I wanted to order that was just ones. And so I expected to pay full price for them, like $32 or 32 pounds. When I got to my payment screen, it was higher. So my order said, okay, I'm just going to throw some numbers out there. It said like $200. And then with shipping, it was like $250. And I'm like, okay, I can absorb that $50 of shipping, and I can absorb the extra high cost because I'm going to paint them and sell them at a higher rate. And so I'm willing to accept the lower profit margin. So when I went to go place when I went to pay for the cart, I noticed the price was like $300 or 300 pounds. And I was like, I know there's a difference in pounds and dollars, but I noticed the payment was in pounds and it was higher than what the website said. So I'm like, wait a second. And so I looked at the invoice from the payment screen, and remember that $30 bag of miniatures that I was trying to get? It was now $32 or 32 pounds. It had gone up just slightly in the payment system. than it did on their website. And so I was like, wait a second. And the shipping was higher because I think they charge shipping based on the cost of your order. So the shipping was higher. And then I said, okay, is that the only one? No, almost all the figures, the prices were up. Just ones are just $2 or $3 a piece. But instead of the 250, it wound up being 300. And I'm not going to pay double. You know, that just didn't make sense to me. So I got boy, man, my skin was boiling. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to go back onto their website. I'm going to pick and choose some models that I want to order. I'm going to screenshot it. Then I'm going to go to my payment screen and I'm going to make sure that I'm not going crazy, because it might be my fault. I might have looked at the wrong numbers. I'm going to take a look and see if it's dollars versus pounds, because if it's still the same currency, then the numbers should be exactly the same. And if they are the same, then I'm just going to ignore it, delete the screenshot, and say, okay, apparently I'm whack. I don't know what I'm talking about. But if they are different, I'm going to take another screenshot. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to send it to Victrix, because it might be something stupid like an error in their billing system or something like that. I don't think it's I honestly don't think it's I don't think anything like that is intentional. But it is something like, whoa, I was getting ready to make a mistake and pay for this when I shouldn't. So that's just a lesson. Buyer beware. If you are out there ordering from any game company and they're offering you a sale or a discount on some figures, when you go to pay, make sure that discount or that sale price is applied to your bill, because I was getting ready to pay full price and not get any of my discounts. I think I could be wrong, but Victrix, I don't know what it is. I've been dealing with these guys for a little bit over a year now, and I'm just constantly having issues with them. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to figure out if it's me or if it's them. You know, once I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. But I have a backlog of front rank, which I love front rank models. They're my favorite model right now. Perry is like a close second. Warlord is up there. Perry Metals. Perry Plastic is actually behind Warlord Plastic. Because and this is because these are easy models to put together. I don't like models where I've got to glue the arms on, glue the head, glue the rifle in their arm, glue one leg on because it's missing, or glue like the drum to the body. That kind of stuff I'm not into. I prefer metal because I can just take it out of the bag, clean it, and paint it. And I've gone over this before in the past, how much time metal saves me. But what have I been doing? I started this project, the World War II, not the World War II. I think I started it around December, right? November, December time frame. You can go back and look at my first Waterloo project update. I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere. That way everybody will know. But from then till now, I've done 1,500 models. Wow, I'm pretty proud of myself. I saw somebody else, Basement 1809, I think is who it was. He did a video where he did, hey, I finally hit 1,000 models. And I was like, damn, that's a lot of models. and he has a big table, and he's got a ton of troops on the table and stuff, and I'm like, wow, man, I'll never get to 1,000 models. And then just yesterday I counted them all up. No, actually, I guess it was actually today. I counted them all up, and I was like, wow, I got 1,500. And that's only about 2/3 of what I need. So I need another 1,000 or so to finish Quatre Bras. And then with the Quatre Bras, I'll still have to do a few more battalions to get into Waterloo, because I'm not doing the entire Waterloo on the table at any one time. So I'm going to be proxying units. But like the Young Guard and the Old Guard, that's not a Quatre Bras, and that's not, so I'm going to have to, I know I'll have to paint those up. And a lot of different types of cavalry, like the Grenadier Guard, and now the regimental numbers, I'm going to glaze over and just pretend like, I'm going to proxy them. I'm going to substitute. And yeah, so. All right, well, I've been on here long enough, been over 30 minutes, and I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming out and checking out my channel, checking out my Waterloo project, seeing my progress, seeing the table I did Wednesday. Remember that every Wednesday morning I will be live streaming, usually painting various different models. It could be World War II or sci-fi, fantasy, or even Napoleonics for my Waterloo. So it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. If you're interested in my store, you should go to eBay and check out Wargaming in Miniature. It's my YouTube channel name, and it's also my eBay store name. If you're international, like Canada or UK or something like that, I normally do not list my figures for sale internationally, but I can. Okay, so if you are interested in getting some figures painted for your army, or if you're, I still need to. Oh yeah, I still need to dull coat these guys. I haven't done that yet. I can now see some shininess in on their sleeves, but if I'm sorry, I got distracted. I'm ADD or something probably. If you are interested in in any type of genre like World War II or Napoleonics or Ancients or something like that, and you're interested in getting a unit painted, contact me. And what I normally do is I'll put it on eBay. Like you'll say, hey, can you do some Agincourt Knights? I need 12 of them, and I need them individually based. Or you could say I need them 2 on a 50mm base, or whatever you need. Just let me know what you want, and then what I will do is I will leap at the opportunity to get those models if I don't already have them, and then I will paint them and base them according to your specifications, if it's reasonable. Like you say, I want one figure on a 100mm base. No, I'm not going to do that. But if it's according to a certain rules, like, hey, I'm going to use them for Hail Caesar, or you could say I'm going to use them for Lion Rampant, so I need them individually mounted, or whatever. I need them on circles. I need them on squares. I'm up for that. And what I'll do is I will paint them, I will base them, and I will put them up for sale on eBay, and then drop you a message saying, hey, they're up, they're on there, they're ready to go. I've got the international set up, so all you got to do is click bid or buy, depending on what I do. Sometimes I might just put it on the buy based on what our agreed price is, and then I'll send you an email and say, hey, they're going to be going up at X time, and then I'll post them at that time, and then you just pay for them. Or you could say, or depending, like you say, oh, I changed my mind, I really don't want them, which I'm actually okay with that, because then I've already got a unit that I can put on my eBay store, and then what I'll do is I'll probably put it on there as an auction. Yeah, just letting you know, if you're interested, I got that as an option. All right, guys, thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.